Well, imagine an attack here in the Bay Area that would shut down bridges, stop BART, disable your cell phone, renders credit cards and ATMs useless. No planes, no trains, no Uber. We're not talking about a bomb or an incoming missile. Kiet Do tonight on the threat to America's critical GPS network.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
When you think about Star Wars, Darth Vader may come to mind. But in reality, when it comes to the next war in space, the bad guy is a hacker, and his target, GPS satellites.
I am very, very concerned. This is a major national security issue. It is a major economic issue. We've got a problem.
Congressman John Garamendi of Northern California says certain forces are hard at work interfering with GPS.
Yeah, it can happen, and it has happened.
Garamendi recounts how last year a GPS spoofing attack placed 20 ships in the Black Sea inland at a false location.
Their navigational systems will say that their ship is in the middle of the airport in Sochi.
A trucker used a GPS jammer he bought on the black market to evade his boss and ended up crippling Newark International Airport in New Jersey as he drove by.
Knocked out the GPS systems. The planes couldn't land. They had absolutely no idea how they were going to make that airport operate.
Then, last summer on the high seas, 2 U.S. destroyers, the USS Fitzgerald near Japan and the USS John McCain in the South China Sea, both struck commercial ships, killing 17 U.S. sailors. Was it a GPS attack?
The Navy says that's not the case. It's not, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with training and awareness and deck officers that weren't on top of their game. Maybe. I'm not convinced.
Navy ships don't just crash into supply ships, right?
Experts aired their concerns at a recent meeting of the Space Foundation in San Francisco.
That's a big thing to go wrong. It gets spooked and jammed.
They agreed. If the GPS system goes down due to a major attack, we are all in a heap of trouble.
It's going to be a bad day.
The day after tomorrow, if GPS goes blank, is quite a bleak one, and it's one that we're all working anxiously to avoid.
911 won't work. ATMs and credit cards will be useless. Planes will be grounded. The power grid disrupted.
9 out of 10 smartphone users say they use GPS. So if it goes out, you'll have to go back to paper maps. Good luck with that.
If the attack is prolonged, there will be no mechanism to sync up financial networks, and Wall Street could unravel.
At the end of the day, it is a single point of failure.
Caitlin Durkovich headed up the panel. Her concern:
we do not have a holistic backup system.
Durkovich was the Assistant Secretary for Infrastructure Protection in the Department of Homeland Security under President Obama. China and Russia both have backup systems on Earth. As for the U.S.,
we are one of the only countries in this world that does not have a terrestrial-based backup system.
Garamendi believes for national security, the U.S. should immediately adopt a land-based backup system. In case of war, all signals from space will be electronically blocked.
The first thing that'll disappear for the military is GPS. Those satellites will be taken out immediately.
He wants the secretaries of Defense, Transportation, and Homeland Security to come up with a backup plan.
It has to happen, otherwise we're headed for a major disaster.
In Silicon Valley, Kiet Do, KPIX 5.
The United States had a land-based system, but in 2009, President Barack Obama declared it obsolete, and Congress terminated the funding for it. To restore and modernize it, Garamendi says it would cost at least $440 million.